Hey guys, so I'm gonna pray for us and then we can get started. So let's bow our heads. God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for this opportunity to come together. We just pray for the people that are lonely and the people that don't really have anyone in the house with them right now, that are quarantined, or the people that are older and can't get groceries. And we pray for the people who may be in addiction, that are alone or in recovery. Just use us to love on people and just encourage them. Pray for protection for the healthcare providers and just that you heal the people that are sick. We thank you so much that we can trust you and that this is all in your hands, and just help our unbelief in times when we are anxious or stressed, or just open the doors for fundraising opportunities. Just thank you so much for the people that support us already. Thank you so much for the women that are advocating for the men and women in recovery, and love you, and we're thankful. In your name we pray, amen. And to kind of elaborate from last week, we talked about stories and how important they are, and how it's important to make your posts relatable. When we want to get our point across, we have to make sure that people understand our mission. And so good job for those of you who made the post and who posted Ashley's testimony. Thank you so much for doing that, because last week I only posted one video, so forgive me for that, but I'll post extra this week so you guys can make your posts. We're gonna talk about exactly how you can tell your story in a way that's going to be relatable, like we talked about last week, but also include other people. Can make the ask that people join you, connect them to your mission and your story and their role, and how they can come together and you guys can help people together. So one format that I always like to go back to that's really simple and easy to follow, it's a format that's called Somebody Wanted But So. So to give you an example of what that looks like, if I were to explain to someone what we're doing and who I'm working with, I would say, I wanted to work with volunteers that were really serious and committed and cared about the men and women in addiction. So that was the somebody, this is the but it's hard to find people that are committed to and understand really the struggle that comes with addiction. So somebody was me wanting really serious advocates, but they're hard to find. And so I teamed up with you all because you guys have that same passion, creating stories like that to where people can understand. I'm sure you guys have felt sometimes alone in this battle for fighting for people in recovery, because it's really tough. I express that to people and they get that and they hear that. That's real, that's like authentic, and you guys can connect people with that. The important thing that we're trying to do is connect our Somebody Wanted But So, and then include them in that. Sometimes there's stories within stories. So you all each have your own story of walking through addiction with your son, but now we have a story collectively together. And so that's a story within a story. You would say somebody, which is you, wanted to make a difference in the lives of men and women who struggle with addiction. But it's really hard to do that. It's hard to get people on board with your cause. So we all joined together and we're learning different ways together of how we can get people involved, and we can just really relate to them how important it is to help men and women in addiction, how much one life really does matter. So now we're all working together. That's your Somebody Wanted But So. But for each new topic, there's a lot of different things that you can add to that. So when stories are done right, they can do 3 things that are really powerful that we really need, and that is to describe our mission and vision. So it has that aspect to it. When we relay our story, rooting it in our why and our mission, our vision is so important. And stories are captivating. We love stories. People get so into stories because if it's an experience, it's something worth sharing. And that's just what we are. We're storytelling creatures. So having that mission and vision and values put into a story is something really powerful. The second thing that a story can do is we can make people feel a part of something. Something that families always do is they tell stories, and they tell stories behind what their name means, and so what it means to be a Sabo, in my example. We'll tell a bunch of epic stories about the big family and everybody laughing together, everybody being silly, and a bunch of movies and things like that. So when we tell stories like that, what we're indirectly telling people is who we are. So what we care about, who we are, and what it means to be a part of this family. We formed our own little family of moms. I love it. And lastly, it can make people feel like they are called to act and do something. And what we ultimately want them to do is donate toward Youth Challenge and Recovery in General, or your son's fund. And so what we're trying to do is encompass all of that in the story, and it can happen and it can be very powerful. What we really want to do is hone in on the things that make our stories authentic and really express to people, one, the need, but two, how they play into that story. And that's so important too. And so when we're describing to people how they can play into that story, what we want to tell them is, this is what I wanted, but it's really hard and I can't do it alone, so I need you to help. And so that's how you include them into the story of Somebody Wanted But. So once again, we're giving people the opportunity to use their wealth to change people's lives. When you give, or when you get people, make sure it's a specific ask, because a lot of times if you leave it to be too ambiguous, people kind of get lost, or there's a lot of indecision that happens. And so you need to just put that number out there. Say, would you consider? And even if they can't, they'll be like, well, no, but I can do $10 a month. We're having a really hard time right now. It's $30,000 that we need to raise. I'm talking about Travis and Youth Challenge. And we, Tough as a Mother group, we're hoping that we can raise part of this, but we need $30,000 to maintain operating regularly. You know, something like this, we are already on a shoestring budget, and so it's a really fragile system. So something like this, where donations have been low, and we've had to shut down some of the things that usually bring us in funds to protect the men and women in our program, because obviously God entrusted them to us, and so we don't want to risk their health or safety in any way. And so what that means is we are very much behind as far as donations go, and so we need this now more than ever. So we're hoping that we can generate some online fundraising somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000. So right about $4,500 would be awesome. And we're looking to other areas as well. One of our board members has stepped up and he has donated $6,000, which is going to be a huge help, especially during this time. But we're just hoping that God will continue to provide generous people that really want to be a part of this and really care and have a heart for addiction. So, like I said, now needed more than ever. Thank you all so much for what you do and just for caring and advocating. If you have any questions, let me know. Just keep in mind when you are tagging in your posts. I saw somebody else post last week and I love them, they looked great, but keep in mind when you're tagging them to do the @ sign and then without any space put YOUTH so it can tag Youth Challenge page, because I want y'all's link to our page as well. And keep in mind too, like, check out for the other ladies who are posting and like and comment on those. If you didn't get as many likes or shares as like the first post, don't worry about it. It will grow. You know, time of day matters. A lot's being drowned out because of the coronavirus, but that does not mean we can stop. We've got to just keep building, and keep making a routine, and do the best we can to get the word out there. Challenges for this week. The first one is to comment below. Let us know how you're doing so we can kind of keep up with each other. If you want to describe how you've been feeling from quarantine with an emoji or a GIF, that'd be awesome. Or you're just like, hey guys, doing good, hope y'all are too. Let's stay connected, because this is a really good opportunity for us to not only do something really great, but also to keep community, and I think that's so important right now. We were not meant to do this kind of stuff alone. So stay active, stay involved. The second thing is to make more than one post, so maybe make 2 posts. Make one of them sharing a story without an ask, or just put the donation thing, and then the second one make it more of a specific ask. Like I said, would you consider donating $21 a month, or would you consider donating $100? The awesome thing about will you consider is people don't feel super pressured or salesy, and they can kind of make their own response from there. They'll be a part of what we're doing, and it's just an easy way to make a really good ask. The third thing that I would encourage you guys to do is like and comment each other's. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll have the notes below, and if you need help tagging, or if you want me to do anything, or just feel free to reach out. So stay healthy, stay safe.